Good evening and welcome back to my channel, My Haunted Kids. I have no spirited dolls with me this evening because I would like to do part 2 of my series, A Woman's Whisper. This evening I would like to try to speak with Mary Shelley. I am not sure if you are familiar with who she is, but she wrote the book Frankenstein, which has since become movies and inspiration for modern day horror stories. Mary Shelley was actually over in England. You have to forgive me, I am not a historian by any means. Was reading about how she really did set the groundwork for modern day horror stories, because she inspired people like Jane Austen and Edgar Allan Poe, and Edgar Allan Poe went on to inspire so many other people. And it literally, you could trace it, it's like 60 degrees of separation all the way down to Alfred Hitchcock, who ended up ultimately being inspired by Mary Shelley. They originally published the book anonymously, and then she rewrote it a second time and then put her name on it. She actually adopted her mother's name, Wollstonecraft, I believe, Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. Her mother died when she was 2 weeks old. One of the reasons I chose Mary Shelley was because not only was she an author and influenced and laid the groundwork for a lot of horror stories today, but she also had a lot of tragedy in her life. Her mother died when she was 2 weeks old. She more or less had a quote-unquote evil stepmother who just made life miserable for her. She was a very rebellious teenager, and she spent a lot of time at her mother's gravesite, which I believe is actually still around today. She even professed her love at her mother's gravesite. She was quite rebellious. At the age of 17, she ran away with and married a 22-year-old man who was already married, and his wife was pregnant. He had one child and his wife was already pregnant. I will get more into the history after we do our session, so that perhaps we can clarify anything that was said. But with that being said, let's get right onto it. So as usual, I'm using my necrophonic app. I'm going to try to only speak with one spirit and one spirit only. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that Mary Shelley's mother was also a writer herself, and she wrote about, if I recall, more or less, I don't want to say women's rights, but she was more or less, from my understanding, kind of like a feminist, or what she wrote about, which is, you know, great for that time. So, hello everyone. My name is Stephanie. Hi, Hava. Somebody either said my name or said get out. I don't know. This evening, I'm actually not looking to talk to any of the spirits in my house. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. This evening, and if anyone would like to help me bring her through, I'm looking to talk to one spirit specifically. They're chatty tonight. I haven't talked in a while. So I actually haven't done this in a while, because like I had some creepy experiences this week, personal experiences, and then with this doll that I had pulled out of my closet, and it gave me the spooks. And people always ask me if I get scared, and this is a good example. Like, it has taken me hours to work up the nerve to be able to do this tonight. And I'm usually not so afraid. I don't know if it's because it's dark and rainy, because my kids aren't here, which they normally aren't, if the culmination of the experiences. But let's get started. Enough chatting. I'm looking tonight to speak with Mary Shelley and Mary Shelley only. The woman who wrote Frankenstein. I think I heard somebody say it here. Ooh, I just got chills through my whole body. You're in pain? Mary Shelley. Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. The woman who wrote Frankenstein. I just saw somebody walk in front of me. Are you here? Would you like to speak with me tonight? I am not looking to talk to any other spirits tonight. I am sorry. I am only looking to speak with Mary Shelley. So if you are not Mary Shelley, I'm sorry, but please, I am not talking to you this evening. Mary, my name is Stephanie. I am a mom, and I talk to people who have died. I find you very inspirational, and I would like to speak with you tonight. Mary Shelley, would you like to speak with us tonight? Are you here? Chester. Mary Shelley, can you tell me the name of the famous book you wrote? Mary Shelley, I will ask again. Would you tell us the name of the book you wrote? I'm only looking to talk to Mary Shelley. If you're not Mary Shelley, I'm sorry, I'm not here to talk to you this evening. So, a fun fact about the book is the full title is Frankenstein. I don't know why I keep mispronouncing it. Frankenstein, a modern day Prometheus. Mary Shelley, so that I know it's you, can you tell us the name of your husband? What is the name of your husband? There's so much activity right now, which I had a feeling there would be. So, Mary Shelley's husband's name was Percy. Ironically, the same name as my cat. Another thing I found very interesting about her. Mary Shelley, I still want to say my name is Stephanie. I am a mom. I have 2 boys. I like to talk to people who have passed away, such as yourself. I'm very impressed by your writing, by what you gave us. And I'd like to ask you a few questions. I only want to speak to Mary Shelley, nobody else. Anyone else must stop. Thank you. Mary Shelley, can you tell me, Mary Shelley, can you tell me about your children? How many children did you have? I heard the name Percy, I think. Mary Shelley, can you tell me how many children you had? Mary Shelley, Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein. That I know that was a sentence in it. I'm sorry if I don't respond. It's only because I don't understand. Are you with your children? Thank you. Are you with your mother, Mary? So you didn't want to be? Mary, if I don't respond, it is only because I don't understand. Mary, can you tell me about your husband, Percy? Tell me a little about your husband, Percy. How did Percy die? I only want to speak with Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley only. Mary Shelley, can you tell me how your husband died? Dead. Mary Shelley, how did your husband Percy die? I heard this is something. I only want to speak with Mary Shelley, nobody else. I'm sorry. So her husband ended up drowning in 1822. I forget the reason why he was on a ship, but he was, and I believe they hit a storm and they were drowning. And he was fairly young, and she was fairly young when she was widowed. Sadly, she had lost a lot of children. Her children had passed away. She had a lot of pregnancies that she also lost, unfortunately. And her life kind of seemed to be cursed with tragedy from like the moment she was born. She also carried a guilt with her because her stepsister took her own life, and then not long after, Perry's wife took her life as well, and she kind of always carried this guilt with her about it because she's more or less her husband. Now, there is a lot of mystery about how Mary died. There's some speculation. Depending on what you read, it's going to depend on how she died. Mary, can you tell me, how did you pass away? Do you know how you died? Daydream? She reportedly died in her sleep. I know she has suffered some kind of paralysis towards the end of her life. She has some mystery ailments towards the end of her life, which I don't recall exactly what they were, and some people attributed to it to like guilt, sadness, or grief. But she did have a surviving son, and she ended up moving in after her husband died. She ended up moving in with him. Mary, can you tell me about your son? She did end up moving in with her son, his wife, and I believe they had kids. I'm not too sure about that. Mary Shelley, I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you know how you died? Mary, I want to ask you about the book you wrote, Frankenstein. Where did you get the idea to write? Where did you get the idea to write Frankenstein? Were you happy with how the book turned out? I only want to speak with Mary Shelley, nobody else. Can everyone else please let Mary Shelley speak? Thank you. Mary Shelley, did you know your book is very famous? Are you happy with the fame that your book has gotten? Nobody except for Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley, is there anything else that you would like to say tonight? Is there anything you would like to say? Mary, I have one last question. Can you tell me where you were born? Where were you born? Thank you so much for speaking with me tonight. I really, truly appreciate it. It was a pleasure to meet you. It was a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you. I'm going to say goodbye now, and I'll let you go back to peace, okay? Thank you. Goodbye. Please, as always, let me know what you heard down in the comments. If you know about Mary Shelley or you know more about Frankenstein, please let me know down in the comments. I am not a professional on either of them, on either of those things. But I thought this was interesting. I am kind of new to doing this, where I'm specifically seeking out a certain spirit for this type of communication. It's different when I am just doing mediumship readings versus trying to get someone to speak through these. So let me know what you thought. Let me know who else you guys would like me to try to connect with. And until next time.